Taylor, Cake Man is a thing. Can you?
Oh my God, let's start this.
Welcome to the Liquid Courage podcast. It's kind of a low energy one, I feel. My name's Sheldon. Over there
So
in the
mad
corner
at
is Taylor.
Oh,
And Tim, my good friend Tim, he's in the rafters.
thank you, sir.
Throwing the tickets away.
I prefer to be up top, where no one can see me.
You do. Full disclosure, I have 2 dogs in my recording space tonight, so if you hear me cut out randomly, it's probably because either Tim had to cut my mic or I had to cut my mic because dogs decided to bark at the world for existing.
Man.
I hate it when that happens.
This is the first. I think this is the first real inconvenience I've had owning 2 dogs.
Okay.
And yeah.
I'm glad you added that extra context, because I was going to say, I have cut your mic before. I've cut everyone's mic before.
Yeah. Some of us.
But here we go. We have, yes, hi, little dog. Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
They're like, you're talking about courage, aren't you? I love courage.
It's me. Yeah. Neither one of you are named that, but here we are.
Courage, you know what? Courage would hang out with Gravy. I feel like...
Yeah.
Gravy's like that dog in that one episode that just constantly licking the bone.
Yeah, let's pretend. But let's we really should have probably used last week's episode for this month retrospect or last month's episode.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
hey, Tim,
actually everybody.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't at all the episodes. Holy shit.
You were not. Yeah, sorry. That's for our other podcast.
Oh.
Courage without Tim. It's
The
doing
true
much
courage.
better. But we have, because I had the snowman is what I'm saying. The snowman was there.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, no snow to be found.
But you know, swindling, which happens around the holidays too.
Swindling does happen throughout the holidays.
And quilts happen around the holidays. Everything is Christmas if you think about it.
Everything is Crimbus if you think about it. Is a T-shirt that I think Tim is making right now.
I'm already drawing it up.
Everything is Christmas if you really
Everything
think
is Christmas if you really think about it. TM. Yeah. So here we are. We've got the Quilt Club and Swindlin Wind, just so we can get those names out now. Go ahead, bud.
Dude, I don't know. The Quilt
bud.
Club, more like the Guilt Club, am I right? Because I wanted to just stop watching.
It's
pretty quickly.
Well, it's an interesting one, I think, and I think we'll dive into that. And I guess y'all got quilts. Y'all like quilts?
I do have quilts. Yeah.
My mother has a quilt she's been working on for 20 years. Not because it's it's
moving on.
It's gonna be a good quilt.
Oh, God.
Sounds like it'll be a big quilt.
It will.
Big old quilt right there.
I have several because my grandmother's a quilter, and there is something that is very nice about a quilt. And I think that is something that is echoed in this episode, and we'll pick up there with the Quilt Club.
It feels like it's made with love, because it has. You can buy quilts though. Yeah, like now our world's different. Because like it used to be just like
This is a fucking Andy Rooney podcast.
Yeah.
Tim, are you telling me that the quilt I bought at Walmart for $7.99 isn't made with love from that Chinese girl in the factory?
You know what really gets me going? It's this quilt my grandmother made when I was alive in the Great Depression. That's not a good Andy Rooney. That's the worst.
No.
Well, I mean,
it's Andy Rooney, right? I'm not crazy.
No, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah. No, Mickey Rooney is a very different person.
Mickey Rooney is the actor, right?
Yeah, he was in a very bad video game as well.
Who's Mickey Rooney?
He might have been. Mickey Rooney. I believe Mickey Rooney is the guy that's in Breakfast at Tiffany's and he wears yellow faced.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That is Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of someone
But
else.
anyway, yeah, I think you were, but I wasn't going to call you on it, but I'm glad you did.
Hey, you know,
quilts.
It's gotta happen.
Quilts are good unless they are made by a eldritch being.
Temptress.
Well, I don't even know if she made it, and we're gonna get into that here in a moment.
Good old Nyarlathotep.
It might be, but
always giving things.
Always giving out quilts.
Too many quilts.
I want to read that story. Nyarlathotep gifted a quilt to some old hag.
Giving out quilts.
And now this lady's flesh is sewn into this quilt. You know what? It's not even too far-fetched. We could make this work.
Quilt cake. That's the Batman. I figured it out.
Cake.
That's how Batman got his powers.
That's how Batman fly with quilt flesh.
You got quilt powers.
Kite Man, guys.
Kite Man. Kite Man.
The arch villain of Batman, Kite Man.
Kite Man, fuck yeah.
Kite Man, fuck yeah.
That's his tagline.
That is his arc.
Yeah. But Bag family goes to antique shop and fabric shop. Eustace, sick boy, too dusty. Muriel,
too dusty.
Gotta find pieces of quilt for a specialty quilt she's making. She runs into the owners of the shop, which happen to be conjoined twin sisters, Elsa and Eliza Stitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is their name. Yes.
That is their names. And
one
they
was
live
in Frozen, the other the Wild Thornberries.
Yeah, they live there, and they work in the shop. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, it's a jarring thing to see the conjoined twin sisters. And I'm gonna go on to another tangent, but that tangent's gonna come later because we've done too many at the top of this show.
What are you talking about?
Too many at the top of the show.
But can I point out that their presentation on how they showed themselves was top notch?
It's a this way that way.
Yeah, they show
they are working with what God gave them.
I'm gonna have two tangents in this one.
Well, were they conjoined?
Remembered another thing for me to talk about. Anyway, let's keep on going. They made a great entrance. They did a fun little door bit.
That's right. There we go.
Exactly.
Some would say that these tangents are gonna get conjoined.
They are definitely gonna. Oh boy.
Alrighty then.
Oh God, I got a couple. And you're both gonna be like,
worse.
I don't remember those. But they work in the shop. Muriel finds them and they're like, "Do you quilt?" And she's like, "Fuck yeah, I quilt." They're like, "Do you want to quilt?" We got a quilt club, and she's like, "I want to be in a quilt club." And she's like, "I don't know, man." And then
you don't seem cool enough.
Yeah, you don't seem cool enough because we want individual quilts. We don't want.
We want quilts that are original and not and new memories. And
we don't want old memories. We want new
bare butt
ones.
And not bare butt Eustace, which.
By the way,
don't want bare butt Eustace.
But you're gonna get bare butt Eustace.
The psychological implications of her making a Eustace baby that.
No, I believe she was taking pieces of a quilt that was Eustace's quilt, and she was then using that to make a memory quilt.
Cool. So the psychological horror became from his mother?
Yes, his mother made that quilt.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're not friends anymore.
And they're not.
True.
So you gotta make a new one.
That arc started out great because it was the first episode of them getting back together. And then that arc turned into, you know what? Fuck this boy.
And then she...
My hair! Yeah.
Then she was a bad guy.
That's exactly what happened, yeah.
Yeah, and so they're like... And this is also when we were first introduced to the eldritch being that is the quilt.
That's right.
It's making weird, creepy noises.
Which was interesting, to say the least.
If your quilt starts talking to you...
It's not a great sign if your quilt starts talking.
You should probably take that away. Just take it somewhere.
And So this is what we get here, and now it's
Muriel
time
Trask.
for one of two of my tangents.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Tangent number 1.
Is
Yeah.
this the
Now.
Lisa tangent or what?
Okay, so here's the first tangent, and the first tangent was actually the second tangent that came to mind. Is when
But I have to
mentioned
start it
the
with
word
this one.
this way, that way. Y'all motherfuckers remember the old ass Dr. Doolittle, not the one with Eddie Murphy, not Freddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy.
His brother, Freddie Murphy.
His brother,
His
Freddie.
lesser-known brother, Freddie.
The Dr. Doolittle from like the 60s?
I'm gonna tell you no.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Oh my god, it was the fucking bee's knees. It was from like 67. And it had a character in it that was a it was it was not that elaborate of a puppet.
Oh no, I don't like that it's a puppet.
Yeah.
I've had bad luck with puppets recently, so
Got no strength.
It was a puppet that was essentially a llama that was two llamas stitched together.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
You had me here. I'm with it. Yeah.
And it was called This Way, That Way.
Oh.
Oh, so there'd be two. Oh no, it's like Cat Dog.
Yeah, it was
Except
like Cat
two
Dog.
llamas.
It was two llamas though.
Oh no, that's actually way more entertaining. I would love to see that Nickelodeon.
Yeah, and it was part of a song.
This way, that way.
For those of you that are in the chat right now, which is just Sheldon and Tim, I've posted a picture of This Way, That Way.
Oh no.
And if we have to, we can tweet it. Google This Way, That Way, Dr. Doolittle 1967, you'll find it. And
I don't know if I want to see this.
It is a.
Oh my god!
And I think what it was.
I love it. I love it a lot.
I think what it was it was a real ass llama that then had another fake llama, like.
Yeah, you could see where
attached to the butt of the other one.
I mean, because the one in the back definitely does not look as real as the one in the front.
It's dead eyes that you don't ever see head on.
I just like the cheer and the one guy looking at his fucking Frankenstein masterpiece.
Well, that's Dr. Doolittle.
And you can also see... You can also see, like, where that head actually ends on the body. Like, they didn't try very hard for this at all. Like,
so walk with the animals and talk with the animals.
So wait, Dr. Doolittle, did he actually did he create this llama?
No, he did not create the llama. He found it. He found it. And then if you go through the movie, there's a whole thing. There's a spot where it does dance, which is very clearly just a terrible puppet. And I will go ahead and post that for the two of you as well, because that shit's the funniest goddamn thing in the entire world.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Because it dances, guys.
Oh no.
I need to find a gif of that, yeah.
It is a fucking fantastic movie. 10 out of 10. Amazing. I haven't watched this since I was like 7 years old.
So we will see how quality it is at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Probably. But there you go. So that's my first tangent. It was like fucking This Way, That Way. Hilarious. Best bit ever. Walk with the animals, talk with the animals. Great. Check that shit out.
I love it.
What were we talking about?
I don't care anymore. I want to talk about two fucking llamas dancing. This is fucking dope.
Two llamas. So Muriel, that's the first tangent. I have another one. That will come up later. But Muriel is now like, I gotta get into this fucking club, and I think it's because they did the pickup artist thing where they're like, I don't know, you gotta be sure. Well, you gotta be good enough, right? Like,
I don't know if you fit the bill. The
blanket's not sure if she's willing to sacrifice everything to be in this club. So
yeah,
yeah.
Well, they don't put that shit up front, by the way.
No, of course
that's not. There was no disclaimer that was like, and also you have to fucking leave your entire family.
There's in any Eldritch Monstrosities deal, they never mention it's like, oh yeah,
I think they should. I think legally they have to.
Well, guess what? They don't care.
I think Cthulhu's gonna get sued if he doesn't.
Cthulhu doesn't give a shit about you. First.
Well, you know what? Cthulhu probably would give a shit about the American justice system because it gets its man.
I'm saying
Does it?
Cthulhu doesn't do any contracts. Cthulhu doesn't want anything to do with us. He just exists.
All right, the King in Yellow is gonna get sued.
All right, you know what? You're
Oh,
more,
you know
more
what?
on the
Yeah,
ball
I'll
there.
take that.
Down
Yeah.
with the aristocracy, am I right?
Mm.
Coming for you, Charles.
God. Yeah, Charles now.
Let's stop the other one.
One's already down.
But Muriel works her fingers to the bone trying to get into this club. She makes Quilt that I guess went over the chair, but in the shot it definitely looked like it was just a chair.
No, it was definitely
not
a
well
chair.
explained. It's
But
literally
the
just
next
a bit of
shot,
chair.
but then the next shot is her with the quilt that went over the pickup, which was impractical. That's just terrible car cover. It's just gonna soak up all the water. And then the last one, and those 2 times it was like, do you really want to be in it? She's like, yes, and then the quilt's like, no. The quilt is like, nah.
The
Which
quilt's,
is why we're
yeah.
like, this is an Eldritch monster at this point.
Yeah.
And,
Not good enough. Never be good enough.
yeah, and then she makes a fucking football field.
And then it goes, hold on now.
Yeah.
Well, and it's that way because she's finally ready to give up her Eustace and her courage and like her life, right?
And then the fucking thing moans.
And then it comes. I think the quilt came.
It really, legitimately, it's like, that was in a children's show.
It
Oh my
stiffened
God.
the fuck up, so... Yeah. And they're like, you're good enough now. And that's when the Stitch sisters show up to the farmhouse to initiate Muriel into the club.
The Quilt. The Quilt
The club.
Club. Yeah, honestly...
Yeah.
Good. Go ahead.
So Quilt Clubs, eh?
Yeah.
Quilt Club. That is a real thing. It is a.
They are a real thing.
Yeah.
My grandma was actually in one, I think.
My grandmother is currently still in one.
I think my mother might be in one as well.
She keeps summoning demons.
I just don't understand it.
I don't know why she does it.
Can I give a little tangent? This is
sure.
Not related to the show, other than the fact that
we've never really stopped them, so.
Yeah, I know.
How dare you? Go on.
You fucker, it's only me tangent time.
Personal story here, and it revolves around quilts. It's beautiful.
Oh, no.
So, my mother always made quilts. She's had a bunch of quilts. My mom has respected her mother, who made a ton of quilts before she passed, and my other grandmother, my dad's mom, who made quilts constantly. So, we have a very pristine family quilt hanging up in my parents' house right now. And it's not up for good reasons.
Oh, no.
I don't. Hey, Tim, this story better get real funny.
It's about to.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No, it's up for a funny reason, if that makes you feel any better.
All right.
So, when I was in high school, everyone used to come over to my house because we had this basement that was pretty much separated from the rest of the house, so we could do whatever we want. I had a friend, my friend Cadre and my friend Sean were wrestling one day, just doing what boys do.
Boys will be boys.
As me and the rest of the other boys were playing Call of Duty, like right next to them. You're like, at that point, I wasn't going to stop anything. My parents had gone up to the mall in Wichita to go to a jewelry store, which is even better. All I hear is a thud, and I look over, and my friend Sean is inside our wall.
Oh, no.
In the basement. And in the basement, we have a wall separating our laundry part of the basement, which is the actual like basement with concrete floor, concrete walls, to a part of the basement that has carpet, wall, like it's a living area, right? So
you've made a drive-through window.
Pretty much. So Sean gets up and he goes, "Oh, that's bad." And I was like, "That is bad.
You think?"
I gotta take a phone call." So I call my parents, And they're just nonchalant about all of it. I was like, hey, I just want you to know, Sean broke the drywall on one of the walls in the basement. Not all of the wall, just a Sean-sized hole in the wall. And they go, oh, well, at least it's only Sean-sized. Was he wearing a helmet? And I said, no. They go, well, it'll be fine. I go, is it because at that time we had only owned that house for maybe a year, and so we were trying to get it appraised here pretty soon. And so my dad, like, everyone left. My parents came back home. Like,
this isn't a Sean-sized hole.
It is a Sean-sized. It is perfectly a Sean-sized hole. So they look at it, and my mom goes, I got just the thing. And at this time, the wall is just barren. There's nothing on the wall. There's no art or anything. She brings out 4 or 5 quilts.
God.
Hangs one quilt next to the door. Hangs another quilt next to that quilt. The third quilt goes over the hole in the wall. And then another quilt goes after that to finish up.
A shell game of quilts.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Hole. And so, a couple months later... because we knew that no one was gonna come by and fix that fucking hole. No one, we didn't want to do it. These 17-year-old kids weren't going to fix the hole in the wall.
They're not gonna do it.
Although I will give Sean credit because he did come by and do his justice by helping us create a garden. So there's that. I was like, that's not quite the same, but whatever. You know, you created something, but you destroyed something.
I'm not gonna fix the hole, but I'll plant some vegetables.
Like, you know what? Deal. The appraiser came down the stairs, and I was there. I was just sitting on the couch playing Xbox, and so the guy, he's looking around. He's looking at, just things in the house. He's not paying too much attention. He's like, oh, this is nice decoration down here. Oh, thank you. Really appreciate that. He goes over, and, he just lifts up the second quilt. Looks under, he goes, okay, yeah, you're not hiding anything. This looks good. It goes over and lifts up the 4th quilt.
No.
He's okay, yeah, all right. And then after a few minutes, he checks out the rest of the basement. We have a cedar closet down there. He checks the laundry area, the actual concrete basement. And then he goes upstairs and he leaves. And I sat there just bewildered by this quilt, which is our family quilt that's over this hole in the wall. That is still there to this day.
Yeah.
And I sit there and go, I think my mom's a witch because she just tricked a financial person by doing a fucking swindler's game at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is my story about a quilt.
Gotcha.
I wish it was that easy.
I know I said it in the middle of the episode, but...
Just putting up a quilt to hide a hole, and the guy just happens to not look at the right one.
My favorite thing is that, so all my brothers are older too, so every once in a while they'll come down to my parents' basement. They'll go, why is these quilts up? And they'll always look under our family quilt and see the hole in the wall, and they go, oh, shit.
Better keep quiet.
Oh, that's why.
They still haven't fixed it. Still there. We've been there. They've been there for 7 years now.
Gotcha. That's funny.
Anyways, as I admitted about my parents' fraud.
Yeah. Yeah, bold of you. Yeah.
Bold of you.
We have a lot of cops to listen.
We have
just 5. A ton in Kansas.
Yeah, mostly cops. Courage the Cowardly Dog listeners all grow up to be cops. That's not true and unsubstantiated
at all.
But the Stitch sisters come over to do this fucking initiation. Right? We're doing this, right?
I totally forgot. I totally forgot what we were talking about.
We have this vehicle for our stories. And they're like, you gotta do this symbol, Muriel. You gotta do this symbol. And
this
Courage
very
is like,
eldritch symbol.
Yeah. And Courage is like, that seems fishy. People don't just draw on your walls in good reason. And so he takes a picture of it. He runs it upstairs to the computer. They scan it in. And to his great horror, he realizes that, oh no,
these people have been throughout time.
They're throughout time.
The cat throughout time.
And so Courage runs downstairs, but it's too late. Muriel had already quilted the thing. She's being absorbed into the quilt, and they're like, "You can never remind her of anything. She's one with the quilt now, bitch."
And of course, we all go, "Why did you tell him? Why did you tell them how to?"
Yeah,
stop
why did you
her?"
tell him? Yeah, stop telling him your plan.
You literally could have just quietly just kept Sawyer in, and then been like, "Yeah, there's nothing.
Shit's fucked. Sorry,
it's
bud."
Over.
Yeah, and so he runs upstairs to try to get some memories, and then she's in there with all of the other Quilt Club members who are now stuck into Quilt Asylum.
Part of the quilt. Part of the quilt. Part of the team.
In the quilt, part of the quilt. Weave, believe, belong.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say in the show they show her like floating down into like its own pocket dimension or something, and all the other quilters are there as well, which really shows the eldritch horror of this whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
the cave lady first of all, just
yeah, all the way back to caveman times. Yeah.
Yeah, did you talk about the computer part?
Yeah.
That's they show a picture, which is even funnier, of the caveman.
Yeah.
With the Lisa Stitch behind him, and you're just like, how'd you get this photo?
Yeah.
What is this?
Shush, it's fine.
It's AI made, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's when Courage realizes he's got to get the memories to get her back. So he ties him up with yarn because he's been doing yarn tricks this whole time. And then he's like stitching pieces he stitches the bare butt Eustace baby into the quilt to ping Muriel's memory.
I'd notice that ass anyway.
Then he rips off his flesh and stitches that into the quilt to bring back her memory. And just, normal things. And this whole time, Eustace has been sick with this terrible allergy thing, and Courage has been taking care of him, and Muriel has been neglectful, and blah, 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 blah. But eventually, long story short, that works, and it gets Muriel out of the quilt. The quilt explodes. The Quilt sisters get turned into a quilt block, and then Eustace uses it to blow his nose. And that's the end of the episode. There's a lot more. I liked it a lot. You should go watch it. And here's tangent number 2.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I was wondering. Okay.
So tangent number 2 is, I don't know how many of you had TLC growing up. The Learning Channel.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
they went chasing waterfalls, right?
Yeah, sure. On the Learning Channel, they would run shows, but one of the things they would run was a show that was fucking fascinating to me, and I don't remember what the name of the show was off the top of my head, but what I can tell you is that shit was amazing, and it was a show that had it had a conjoined twin women.
Oh.
And their names were Abby and Brittany.
It was the Abby. Oh, what?
They were from Minnesota.
Oh.
And they were these conjoined twins, and they were like teenagers in the 2000s. And that shit fucking fascinated me. And I recently went down an internet rabbit hole before we watched this one, because I had to do those. And it was called Joined for Life. That was the name of this series.
Okay, that makes more sense, because Joined for Life, Abby and Brittany turned 16.
Yeah, they're 32 now.
They teach children in Minnesota.
What do they teach?
They teach elementary school. But my question is essentially, like, and they go into some of it, but like conjoined twins are a weird thing, right? Like it's a thing that happens, and shit's just kind of like weird and strange.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
But fucking boy, oh boy, do I have vivid memories of watching this show on TLC, and like just going through the myriad of teenage confusion.
Yeah. My favorite part about this, and I'm looking up their Wikipedia and their filmography, is that they were on the Oprah Winfrey Show at the time where the Oprah Winfrey Show was not a good show, right? Where they were
They
doing
had
the
to
shit.
pass their driving tests separately.
That's awesome. That's horrible, but what a stupid thing. Fucking
How could we
Because
prove?
one controls one arm and one controls the other arm.
That's so stupid. I
Yeah, but how
hate
can
you.
we...
That's so stupid. But they can't exist without each other. Like, that is
No,
the dumbest
they can't
thing.
because their shit's entwined. Well, and here's my question: do they get 2 paychecks?
They
fuck
should.
yeah. They most certainly, if they made them do that, the DMV, then fuck yeah, they should.
I would argue they should.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that's not how the business world will see it, but I think they should. They should
In
definitely get
2018, Abby
paychecks.
and Brittany revealed they were offered 2 contracts by the school that hired them because they were working.
Yes! That's perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a
about
happy
time.
ending. Because that's the only way a teacher's salary actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comments? Anybody? Anybody in particular?
No, you're right.
No.
No, I know. But yeah, so that's my second tangent. It's less fun than my first tangent because these are real people and not a fucking puppet on Dr. Dolittle.
I disagree. This is a great tangent because I had no idea any of that happened.
It's amazing. It's honestly like it was a fucking crackerjack of a show.
I've seen them before. But like, just the history they've had both in television and that the fact that they're just living a quiet life right now,
living normal fucking lives.
that's pretty dope. To be totally honest, like,
Abby and Brittany, if you want to get in contact, we have a Twitter and we don't check it.
yeah, I'll interview you. Yeah, fuck, hell yeah. I've interviewed worse people.
I'm more sad at the realization that I'm like, they're fucking old and so am I. Like, I'm like, oh, they're 32 when this article was written, and I was like, oh, this article was written in 2022. Fucking Christ! All right, I thought they were older than me. Turns out not that much.
I just like how they were on the Oprah Winfrey Show for the first 2 seasons that like Oprah didn't want to do this show.
Yeah. And I bet she was fine. I'm sure she didn't say anything problematic.
Probably not. She probably loved them being on because she's like, finally, a story that's worth telling. Holy shit.
Yeah. Let's go with that. Let's go with that the angle in the early 2000s, Tim.
It was 96. It was even early 2000s.
But you and I both know the words that were used, Tim.
I know it was. Would you want to hear some trivia?
I'd love to hear a trivia fact, Tim. Give me a trivia fact about
I not only
Quilt
have
Club, baby.
trivia fact for the Quilt Club, but when we were waiting for the show to start, I also looked up trivia for the Elise and Lee's Stitch. I honestly think that trivia is better. So we'll just run through the trivia for this episode real fast and go to that.
Okay.
Sure.
The women who were trapped in the Quilt Club belonged to a different part of the world from different points of time. There were a cave woman, Egyptian woman who resembled Egypt's Queen Cleopatra, a pilgrim/colonial woman, an Asian woman, and a French lady from the 19th century. How do they know she's from the 19th century? Anyways.
Well, it's because of the period dress.
Listen, man, time travel's all about the clothes you wear.
1800s, baby.
The second trivia fact that also has a sub fact, which I didn't know we could do. This is notably a graphically dark episode, showing a cloud-such stormy sky using a high variety of dark colors in the background.
Yeah,
especially when the sisters are in the shop, yeah. When usually nowhere is shown sunny and bright. Also, it's shown as like a browner toned everything. I'm a video editor, I could fight this, but the sub...
You're not an animator, too.
That's cool. Everyone has to do color at the end of the day. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I have to use swabs.
My job was easy.
Yeah. But
didn't have to color shit.
The atmosphere is further emphasized by the show's almost monotone organ theme, a funeral-esque arrangement exclusive to the episode. I don't think it's exclusive to the episode, but there was, I guess, a funeral-esque theme every time they were in the shot, right? So
yeah.
So there's so much trivia for these two young women. I guess they're not young; they're eldritch horrors. They've been around since the beginning of time. We'll just run through those. I just think it's worth it. Their name Stitch is a slight pun, as Stitch is a basic sewing technique which binds two ends of clothing together.
Boo.
Yep.
Yeah, boo. Along with some iconic antagonists, they also have their own.
Are they iconic? I forgot about them.
They also have their own slow chamber organ track that plays during more than half the episode. Blah, blah. They're voiced by Fran Brill, who is also known for performing Zoe and Prairie Dawn on Sesame Street. That's the one I wanted to talk about. Coincidentally, John R. Dilworth made a series of animated shorts called Noodle and Ned for Sesame Street, alongside an animated short called Felines. That's the real quote. That's the trivia I wanted to bring up, because it means we now need to watch all of those.
Noodle and Ned?
Noodle and Ned and Felines.
We watched Noodle and Ned, didn't we?
I believe we did, but I don't know if
I think we watched it off pod.
For sure, but we need to see it. We have to be, the experts here, right?
But I'm telling you, I know we watched Noodle and Ned off pod.
Sure. It has been. This is the actual trivia. It is suspected that the sisters weren't always conjoined twins. It was something to do with the quilt they owned that made them the way they are now. Perhaps their bodies were joined in order to increase their lifespan.
Yeah. Okay.
Where was that?
Sure.
Where was that in anything?
Sure. Let's do it. Sure.
Why not? I'm willing to leap off of bounds of logic. It's fine.
This only gets better. They resemble Mrs. Militia Tweety from Arden movie called Chicken Run.
Oh.
That's a coincidence. Yeah, I don't know.
Coincidental.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a time period thing, but they can be considered two of the most horrifying villains on the show. Also disagree with that. Okay, this is the best one. They resemble Yuba and Zeniba from the Studio Ghibli movie Spirited Away. The concept of the characters are also a bit similar.
Oh, the concept's not similar.
No.
And yes, they're twins.
This
Twin
is like
witches, I guess. But then Twitches have just as much in common.
Agree.
True.
This trivia section is reaching far, in my opinion. I think they're in like 2 episodes. I think they're in 1 episode.
Yeah.
They're in this episode.
They're iconic sound.
And for that, they get a solid 3 conjoined twins out of 5, which would be a 6.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this.
I got bored.
Yeah, I noticed.
I was just like, and we're done.
Yeah, I know. I read that section before we started, and I was just like, this is reaching fucking far, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it works at the end of it, but that's the thing, right? Like, they're inherently in fandoms, you're gonna have individuals that are like, fuck, this is a thing that is a reference to a thing, so that thing must also be a reference to this. Like, it just happens. It just it does the tangent. I'm in a jovial mood. I'm not gonna call him an asshole tonight, but like, come on, don't be an asshole. Like, do your fucking work.
I'm not gonna call him an asshole. You're a fucking asshole.
It's just like, I don't know, fucking try. Like,
no, you know what time
a fucking tempt. Like, I don't know, look at something and compare dates. You know, like,
or even just like see if it's plausible for that to happen.
Everything's a reference to everything. Fuck it. Who cares? Unless it's explicit, I don't care. Yeah. It'd be like, Freaky Fred is actually, in case anyone was wondering, a reference to Berbers in the 1800s. Yeah, no shit he is.
It's a reference to Freddy Got Fingered that came out in the 90s.
He's actually a reference to Sweeney Todd. Yes, I know he is. Like,
yeah,
we got it. It's not hard. It's not a hard thing.
It's a reference to Edward Scissorhands.
Actually, Freaky Fred's rhyming style is that of someone who rhymes. Yes, I know.
I will give this 3 obviously AI generated photos of cave people with the sisters behind them out of 5.
AI art is not art.
I agree, actually, because someone who's going to be affected by AI art in the near future.
Fuck me.
Oh. Go ahead, babe.
I don't have. Honestly, I think I'll rate it. Give me a second to fly through the 2 cat's cradles out of 5.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like
it. I didn't really like this episode too much.
I remembered this episode quite a bit because, and I was telling Sheldon this. Like I said earlier, my mother did like to make quilts, and that fear of being stitched into a quilt does happen in a child's brain at some point.
I really like. I remember the 2 Stitch sisters. I didn't know their names, but I remember like them being a thing.
Did they ever say their names?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they say it at the beginning.
Oh,
I'm Elise, and I'm Eliza. Or Lisa. I don't understand. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Elise and Elsa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think that is it, yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I remember them a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird one. I kind of like the dark tones. It's, as I hate to use this turn of phrase, it's Tim Burton-esque.
Yeah, it's very much, they are very much like a Tim Burton character, I agree. 100%.
They could show up in the next season of Wednesday and no one would bat an eye.
Hey,
they're there. They're in the background.
They're actually there right now. They're actually
Burton,
the hide.
Burton, contact Dilworth. Come on, you got this.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We're gonna do a watch cast. No, we're not.
No.
We're gonna do a spoiler cast after this. And Tim's gonna be spoiled. No.
I mean, I want to watch it, but
I got all kinds of cookies and cakes.
I got no money. Anyways,
the next one.
Yeah.
Boys, you ever been swindled?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You ever been? Some of us bought Cyberpunk on launch.
You know what? Yeah, I've definitely been swindled.
Yeah.
My computer ran it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone else is
Cyberpunk on launch. Some of us bought Dark Tide on launch.
There you go.
Some of us
bought it 3 times on launch.
Some of us feel as though that maybe the entire industry that we enjoy as a hobby is slowly draining us of any joy.
And money.
Yeah.
Don't forget money.
And yeah, we've all been swindled. And that's why swindling is bad. And that's the entire next B episode. Good luck, everybody. Good night.
The entire B episode is Swindlin Windlin.
Yeah.
You know?
This is Swindlin Wind. Swindlin Wind. It's got our favorite bad psychic, Shirley. She's there. A woman who / Chihuahua who we continually fuck over, and we go.
You'd think after the first time getting.
Why do we keep doing it? Like cats, I kind of get. Like, I guess I can kind of be like, oh, they just like don't fucking register that it's cats. But like, Shirley's the same person every time. She's not even wearing a disguise. Cat's like, I have a funny different hat this time. You're like, that's a different person.
Yeah, that's the man that's gonna change my. Right? Yeah, he's gonna change my wife into a washing machine. That's fine.
Yeah, it's but Shirley, my boy, oh boy, did me saying the name fucking
Shirley,
Shirley. Well, my brain went, that's not a name. That's a beer company.
That's a bad joke in Airplane.
Movie. So they're at this. Would you call it a fair? Or is it?
It's a bazaar.
It's a bazaar.
Didn't they call it a fair?
It's called a bazaar.
Oh,
I think Sheldon's right. It is called bazaar.
They use the word bazaar.
You're
bazaar.
Right. It says
what is
Gypsy
a
Bazaar.
It is a bazaar is normally like an outdoor market.
Oh, okay. Is that all that is?
It'd be like a.
It can be an indoor market too. Basically, it's just a big old marketplace with a bunch of small stalls.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been to a craft fair?
Flea market.
That's a bazaar.
It's just one of those things where, I hear the word bizarre, and I literally just go to, oh, there's got to be some fanciful things in there.
Yeah, but and especially
That's the
because it's
point.
spelled like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Because it's spelled Bazaar.
It's spelled to be bizarre.
Bizarre.
Yeah, bizarre.
The joke that just
Oh,
never
no.
stops.
God, don't say any more bizarre, because Bizarro comes to my mind.
Bizarro.
C-Lab.
Ran by Bizarro.
Bizarro Superman.
The stupid.
Bizarro's bizarre. We did
Freakazoid.
My favorite C-Lab episode.
Freakazoid. Y'all ever
Yeah.
watch Freakazoid?
I'm gonna need more rope.
I did. It was fun.
Fucking love Freakazoid. But I think I have the first season of Freakazoid. I think I might have all of Freakazoid on DVD. I'm gonna have to look at my DVD collection after this.
There's only like 3 seasons, so I
There
mean...
are only 3 seasons, but I'm pretty
For some
sure
reason,
my
I
good
always
lady
thought
wife bought me
Freakazoid-
Freakazoid on DVD.
I always thought Freakazoid was like not really a show. It was more of a short.
No,
Why is
he
my
was a
brain
short
making-
on
Animaniacs.
and then he got his own show.
Oh.
And honestly, you know how the new Harley Quinn series on HBO Max is kind of fun and wacky and goofy sometimes?
It's kind of the same thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, similar art style, in all honesty. But,
Oh, true. Ooh, true. Did
Yeah.
Spielberg have something to do with that one, too?
yeah, he did. Not the Harley Quinn one.
But with,
It's
Freakazoid.
just WB. Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a Spielberg offshoot.
Right.
Well, it's a Spielberg offshoot, just like Tiny Toons is a Spielberg offshoot.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one. Continue on with the
We
episode.
absolutely do. Tiny Toons is fucking amazing. Elevator go up, elevator go down. Pinnacle of Saturday cartoons. What we don't talk about is Sam and Max, which we should because it's great.
I will talk about Sam Max.
Oh my god, it's so good. But Eustace and Muriel go to a bazaar to look for anniversary presents because their anniversary is up, and Muriel's finding good shit for Eustace. Eustace trying to buy shit for his truck because he's a bastard.
He's in love with his truck. He's
There's a
married to
fucking
his truck.
song that there's a tangent number 75.
Yeah.
There's a fucking country song that's called "Don't Touch My Truck," and it's the fucking dumbest, panderiest,
Yep.
bullshit
Yep.
fucking song in the entire fucking world. It's just as bad as that Applebee's on Fuck Off.
Oh, come on.
It's just as bad as that, and I swear to God, the amount of fucking dumb shit mongoloids that I know that are like, that's my fucking song, man. I'm like,
That's my
"God,
jam.
I drive a pickup truck. You can touch it all you want as long as you're nice to it.
Don't start
It's so
scratching it.
stupid. It's just so fucking dumb. God. Country. Don't listen to that. Go listen to Nick Shoulders and Willie Carlisle and fucking Benjamin Todd. Go listen to the outlaw country bullshit that's all about the real country shit. That's all about maybe that
Yeah.
the government shouldn't be the thing that you rely on, because guess what? Putting a boot in the ass of somebody else doesn't necessarily make you feel better. Anyway.
I mean, that's the real country to me anyways. That's Johnny Cash and all that bullshit
Honky Tonk
anyways.
Badonkadonk is still a
Yeah.
great song, though.
Oh, God.
So they're going to go to this bazaar, and they're looking for these things, and they wander upon Shirley's shack, and Shirley is selling a It's a medallion.
It's like a blue
An
heart.
amulet.
Yeah, blue heart
Yeah, it's like
medallion.
the Hope Diamond.
It's a
Yeah.
rock on some chain, you know.
Hey, that's what the rappers say, my
And
dude.
it is and that catches her eye, and so she's like, I want that. I love that, Eustace. I want that. And Eustace is like, I'll get it for you reluctantly, you know.
But I'm not gonna pay full price.
Here, I have.
Yeah.
Here, instead of paying $5, I'll give you this oil weld certificate.
Yeah.
Fucking God. Eustace is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He's not great.
And why
yeah.
is it not great? Because it's not an oil well.
No,
It's
it's
an
an
oil
oil
bill.
bill.
Oh. Fucking
Which
piece of
raises a lot more questions. Who billed you? Is that for your truck?
shit. It must
Yeah.
be. It must be.
Huh. Did you not
And-
This
pay
whole
that?
trip was for his truck. Let's be real.
I mean, yeah. And then this is it, they get swindled, and so Shirley is like, you swindle me, I'll turn you into a bunch of swindlers, which is a statement that she put in the world. And now Muriel and Eustace are going to try to swindle each other out of all of the stuff they already own.
They do quite a bit of different stuff. Like, they do the traditional, like, ball in a cup where you switch out the ball with 3 cups, and, like, they have to guess which cup the ball is under. Boom. Obviously, it's not under any, so it doesn't matter. That kind of bullshit. I understood a lot of the swindles, except for the one where Muriel comes out with percussion equipment and just has Eustace throw shit at her. I don't understand.
This all goes, and hey fans, all 4 of you. I don't have time. I don't have time
to describe this. Yeah,
it's one of these episodes, guys. It's one of these.
It's very visual. If you really want to understand it, you have to watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, Tim brings up the weirdest swindle, which is Muriel beating a bunch of pans and it was a xylophone.
Yeah, she's like a xylophone,
accordion,
and she has like a bass drum, which you would wear in the front if you were like marching with it, and like. I'm watching and just like, what swindling is happening here?
Well, what swindling is happening here, Tim, is that she is goading Eustace into throwing things at her.
Cool. You want me to shut up? You better give me stuff.
Yeah, and like, oh, I bet you won't throw your chair, and she does. I bet you won't do this other thing, and she does.
Clock.
And so, like, and you throw the floor. And poor Courage gets hit with all of it.
Yeah, do you ever think in that household there's just a gas leak?
Yes.
Okay,
often,
good.
Actually,
yeah, that's probably what's happening the whole time. This whole series is about a gas leak in a fucking Kansas household. Huh.
Yeah. And so he does that. Courage realizes, oh shit, there's some fuckery afoot, and he goes to
Shirley
to be like, oh my god, Shirley, look at all this shit that's happening.
What the fuck? Here's the amulet that you wanted back.
Goes, well, listen, it's not about the amulet. It's about sending a message.
It's about sending a message about you swindled me, fuck you, and your owners are fucked.
They're little bitches, We just need to.
Yeah.
Need to pay up. No, but these banana people.
And they were they were selfish, and then then he was not selfish, and therefore it was fine.
Okay, yeah, we had to explain the banana people.
Do we?
I do, because
go ahead.
All that happened is that apparently, off screen, all this happened off screen. This couple came by and gave Shirley a spoiled banana, and so as they walked away, she realized it's spoiled, and she cursed them to have spoiled banana heads.
Yes.
And so she has crystal balls that she's watching all her curses on, which is a very, very awesome medium, to view things.
She's a voyeur. I don't know. Yeah. She just is.
But, hey, whatever, man. Whatever gets you there. Did she watch Netflix on one of them? Probably.
Yeah.
She doesn't pay. But she watches the two couple, figure out that their heads have been turned into bananas. And as they're sitting in the back seat making out of each other, they freak out. But the guy consoles the girl. And she, literally within 20 seconds of this curse happening, she goes, oh, well, they've learned their lesson, and changes them back.
Yep.
Like,
he's right, folks.
20 seconds of this curse.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Eustace and Muriel have been having this curse for 12 hours at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're bastards, so...
That's true, okay. They haven't done anything redeeming.
From me. The other people just gave me a bad banana.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my biggest point right there, is how did they know it was bad? What, they just had a banana. They saw that you were hungry. They gave
had
you a
brown
banana.
spots on it, Tim. Turns out she didn't even open the banana to find out it was bad.
Yeah.
She just saw, this is a bad banana.
There's brown spots on this. They gotta be evil. Screw those kids.
Turns out she'll only eat a banana if it's just turning yellow. Just the perfect.
It has to be partially green.
Perfect banana. Partially green? Ugh.
Yeah, it's plantain. Yeah, at that point, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your synopsis here, but
Oh, you're good. I did it. And then at the end of it, it essentially is just like.
Oh yeah, the tick. We forgot about the tick.
No, I forgot about the tick. I was gonna round the tick out here, but yes. Essentially, Courage goes back home to be like, I gotta figure out a way to so that you're not all swindly, terrible people, and that's when we get re-exposed, because you're exposed at the beginning to a wood tick on Muriel's foot.
that
Yeah.
Courage puts ointment on, but it doesn't leave. It just starts screaming, and she puts it back in her boot.
Well, he gets like drunk.
Yeah, they like swab him with alcohol or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That's,
know what we all do with ticks.
shouldn't you just take that off? Okay, whatever.
Well, tearing
Well,
it off, that might stay.
Well, it's a.
it might leave its head in your body, and you might get cancer.
Don't hit it with a matchstick. That's the worst
Lyme
thing to do.
disease. But you could, if you get bit by a Lone Star tick, you get an allergy to red meat.
I've heard that. Yeah, actually, I've heard that a lot.
Ticks
But
are
it's
the worst, man.
it's a big old tick with a hayseed hat and big old nose and some questionably large lips.
It is definitely not a caricature of something else.
Well, I think it's supposed to just be like a backwoodsy
It's
hick
just
tick.
Yeah.
backwoodsy tick. It's fine.
You know, a hick tick.
Sure, a hick tick.
Oh,
Yeah,
a
you
hick,
know.
okay, a hick tick. I could definitely see that.
I smell a name for this episode.
Yeah. And then yeah. And that's when Courage shows the tick. Eustace is like, I want the tick, and he swindles the tick to come over to his foot, and Shirley's like, oh, it's an act of kindness, and turns him back to normal.
Swindle the swindler again.
And then the tick is then playing Eustace cards, and guess what? They both cheat.
Yes.
And the tick will now live on Eustace's earlobe, and that's the episode, folks. It's a long, short one.
It's a long short.
Honestly, it's very Looney Tunes-esque. It's very it's a cartoon.
I mean,
This is a cartoon.
It is a cartoon.
We do an episode.
We watch the cartoon.
We do a podcast where we watch a cartoon. The reality is setting in on me.
Well, that's because, there's some people who are like, how did that tick win the card match? And you're like, it's a fucking cartoon. And they cheated. It was very clear they cheated.
Yeah, Eustace
Five
is
aces,
like,
then
five.
6 aces.
Yeah.
No. It's just not going to happen, though. But yeah. And that's the episode.
Ooh.
Tim, trivia, go.
I was going to say trivia. This is the 4th episode in which Shirley has a major role.
Hell yeah, it is.
You mean every episode she's in?
That's right.
Well, yes, but still. I won't be upset with that one.
But it's only the 4th episode she's been in, Sheldon, so yes, you're right.
Yeah, you got me.
Shirley's spell is this: swindling man and swindling life. Bear this curse upon your life. Instead of swindling for your lover, you shall swindle one another. I just want to point out something else. Muriel did swindle shit.
Muriel was literally
not really, yeah.
Life.
But yeah, I get it. You clump them together. It happens. Well, Shirley normally casts curses with her saxophone. In this episode, she uses a pair of bellows. Yeah, she pushes out. Yeah, what was the reason for the change? That's a good point. Because usually she does have some kind of musical instrument that she puts the curse on people with. But this episode she had a bellow, which would not be used for that. It'd be used for pumping up a furnace or a fireplace.
Yes.
Because Swindling Wind. I was going to say Windling Swind.
Swindling Swind.
Yeah. Are you saying that they named the episode before they wrote the episode?
Before they finished animating.
You know what? I'm with that, actually. It's very possible.
We gotta figure out how to put wind into this.
Fuck, what do we do? She's got a bellows. The fuck is a... Never mind, Dill. Just, yeah, that's fine.
It'll work, I promise.
The last part of trivia, and it is like 6 lines, so... Eustace and Muriel weren't the only couple that Shirley cursed in this episode, as I explained.
No.
Around the same time, a pair of teenagers selfishly gave her a rotten banana instead of sharing the food. Okay, hold on. Around the same time span, a pair of teenagers had selfishly gave her rotten bananas instead of sharing their food that they apparently had at the moment. So as punishment, she turned their heads into bananas. Swindling begets swindling, just as selfishness begets banana heads, which was the curse she put on them. Until one of them shown, by comforting his girlfriend, that he cares about the suffering of another. Shirley found the act so sweet, touching, that she decided to forgive them and undid their curse.
That's just the end of the episode. It's not really trivia if it's all written and spelled out to you.
That feels like, that whole thing should not have been in trivia. It should have been in the synopsis, which is only... Can I point out, the synopsis is shorter for this episode than that trivia fact.
Oh.
I hate this fucking website.
Oh
my god.
I don't know, baby.
God, I love fandom.
Now you're getting it.
I love fandom. It's the best thing ever.
I give this 3 bellows out of 5. It's average episode. It's fun to watch, but not really memorable.
2 Hick ticks out of 5.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
I know, that's why I cut you off.
I love the idea that is just the MacGuffin of the episode, right?
Is the tick?
Is the tick.
It's the Hick tick.
It's just like, and that she has ointment for that tick, and that tick was already in her boot. Yeah. There's so much going on in this episode.
So gross. Fucking 2 hubcaps out of 5.
There you go. There you go. That's a good one. I like it.
Eustace bought a hubcap for his truck before all this happened.
Hell yeah, he did.
A mystery to the audience, Tim.
There's no mystery. It just happens.
I mean, to us, it was a mystery too. It's like, what the fuck are you doing buying hubcaps at a fucking bazaar, dude? Whatever.
They were good hubcaps.
Were they?
I don't know.
He gave it to her as a hat.
He did.
Well, he's an asshole.
That's true.
We figured this out, 3 seasons ago?
the first episode?
In 2018, when we started this podcast.
When we were children watching this in the early 2000s.
Wow, Eustace is a bastard.
Oh, wow, Eustace is a real piece of shit, huh?
This is stupid as shit. What the fuck? Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my Legos. My Bionic.
Anyway. Yeah. There you go, folks.
It's good. It was an episode. I don't particularly think it's a good episode.
You guys can move on to another one. I wouldn't say you need to watch these 2.
But congratulations, you ended 2022 with this episode.
You did it. Congratulations.
Proud of you.
Proud of you, proud of me.
Contact Tim for your t-shirt. My Everything's Christmas t-shirt.
Everything is
if you think about
real
it.
Limited supply. Real limited.
Oh, it is a picture of some dude pointing at his head. If you think about it, everything's Christmas.
They're t-shirt NFTs, actually.
Oh, yeah, you don't even get a real t-shirt.
It's actually just a picture of a t-shirt. It's a digitally signed picture of a t-shirt.
They cost $100 each.
Yeah. Jokes are fun. Have a good night, everybody. See you next month.
Bye-bye. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Holiday.